around. We're not allowed to move. We must just be standing still. We want to instill that, DP. We've seen that South Africans don't respect the singing of the national anthem. So these are platforms that we need to instill the respect for the singing of the national anthem. Can please protocol assist us this side? There are problems. Please, we're not going to sing the national anthem until we get the order that the national anthem deserves. The SANDF is going to lead us on the singing of the national anthem. Are you ready? Okay, we're going to start with the singing of the national anthem. The South African national anthem. And is it the school that is going to lead us? Okay. And then immediately after that, the SANDF is going to lead us with the singing of the AU national anthem. In that order. Shh. Can you lead us to the second singing of the AU national anthem?
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. Flesh of the sun.
Thank you very much. We may be seated. Happy Heritage Day. Happy Heritage Day. I am co-program directing with Minister Mackenzie. Minister, you're welcome. Maybe let me read the protocol and then you will take over from there. Let us welcome the Deputy President, Ntate Paul Mashatile, who's also the acting president, Mashatile Matsoho. Asimshayeleni izandla. Thank you very much, Deputy President. And our beautiful Mrs. Mashatile, our First Lady, she's also here. Hala, hala, Mama Mashatile, hala, hala. Thank you very much. Ministers that are present, I think it will be important that I just read through and acknowledge and welcome them and appreciate their presence. Minister Mackenzie, I'm told the following ministers are here. I also want ministers to stand and greet the people because you left everything. You could have chosen to attend any other program, but you graced this important program of DSEC. Minister Mutseha from Defense. Minister Dean McPherson from Public Works. Minister Steinheisen from Agriculture. I'm told those Minister of Human Settlement, Mrs. Tembing Kadimeng. If there's any minister that I have omitted, I apologize. The following deputy ministers are present. We have both Ntate from the presidency. We have Mr. Murolong. Kenny Murolong, please greet the people. And then Renali Mewaruna Masauli, please greet the people. She's also from the presidency. And Renali, Deputy Minister of Water and Sanitation, Mr. Siathulo. And the Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Mr. Gwanda. Oh, Mrs. Gwanda. Thank you very much. I also want to acknowledge the presence of the High Commissioner of Uganda, Mr. Paul Amuru. Mr. Paul, please stand up. You are all welcome.
Kenners, I know you're excited to see the acting president. You've been waiting for him, and we want to thank him for coming to Oudtshoorn. And when the deputy minister was introducing him, I didn't feel that. I want the deputy president and the ministers to see the people of Oudtshoorn. Soos ek vir julle ken. Hala, hala, deputy president, hala, hala. Hala, hala, ministers, hala, hala. Yeah, that's view on us. That's who we are. Then the one person we must introduce, it is DP, acting president. It is the last remaining speaker of the new language. She said, I'm not dying with my knowledge of this language. Ek gaan nie doodgaan met my kennis van hierdie taal. And she's starting schools to teach future generations. Kan ons almal ons hande by mekaar sit vir ons koningin, ouma Katrina. Baie dankie. Vos.
Thank you very much, Minister. We also want to acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Chairperson of the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, Mr. Nkosilanga Mavuso. Without any waste of time, We will now invite the MEC of Sports, Arts and Culture in the Western Cape Province. He also happened to be Mackenzie. And they spell their names the same way. So it is nepotism of the highest order. Mackenzie?
Good morning. There you are. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. Goeiemorgen. Program Director, Deputy Minister Peace Mabe, His Excellency Acting President of the Republic, Mr. Paul Mashatile, the Minister van Sport, Kunsel Katir, the Anna Mackenzie, Gayton Mackenzie, all other ministers and deputy ministers and provincial cabinet ministers, the Deputy Chairperson of the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, Nkosilanga Mabuso, members of Parliament and National Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, mayors, councillors, elected leaders, en meer baie belangrik die mense van Oudtshoorn. Goeiemôre en baie dankie dat julle hier saam met ons is vandag. Geagte gaste, lede van die gemeenskap en al die pragtige mense van ons pragtige land, laat my dan ook toe om ons plaaslike mense van Oudtshoorn wat die uitgekom het, weer baie dankie te sê. Gee julle self 'n baie hande klop. Dis vir my beide 'n eer en 'n voorreg om vandag hier in Oudtshoorn te staan, die warm hart van die Klein Karoo, waar ons saamkom vir die amptelike viering van Erfenisdag. Daar kon geen beter plek in die wêreld gewees het om die samekoms van Erfenisdag te doen nie. Oudtshoorn is 'n dorp van ware geskiedenis, kultuur en sport bymekaar kom. From the world famous Kango caves with millions of years old and the drawing of the people from around the world, the Klein Karoo Kunstefees, which fills this street with music, color and storytelling, and of course, Oma Katrina, onze groot oma waar hy sit, baie dankie oma dat jy saam met ons is vandag. The town has given us legends from rugby players like Rudy Page to the first Western Cape candidate from Mustine, Letabo Sigobela, our own Miss South Africa, Mia Leroux, liberation stalwarts like Reggie Stalwart, Reggie Oliphant, and Carol Moses, to name a few. Their stories remind us of the power of perseverance, talent, and heritage. Of course, many times like Oudtshoorn faces many challenges, hardship, and limited opportunities. Yes, in every challenge lies the seed of hope. That hope flourishes here in vibrant arts, our shared traditions, and our love of sport, and our spirit of togetherness. Heritage Day reminds us that stories and lived experience are often what we need to keep moving forward. So today I thank the people of Oudtshoorn for opening your homes, your talents, and your heritage to South Africa. Your stories enriches our national stories. Mr. Acting President, as former Minister of Arts and Culture, you launched the Mzaldi Golden Economy. So you understand how investing in heritage and arts transforms life. Festivals in particular transform economies and it's powerful drivers for our economy. They bring tourists, they boost local businesses, and they open doors for young creators and they create jobs. So we must invest more in festivals like the Kaka and Ka. They are powerful drivers of our communities. So Mr. Acting President, like Mzansi Golden Economy, I'm lobbying you to find more money for festivals like the Kaka and Ka. Mr. Acting President, in the weeks leading up to this day, we conducted family workshops in the Western Cape Archives. These are grounded in our communities and they document stories and records that safeguard our identity. We recently celebrated Kusista Day in Mitchell's Plain, a reminder that a cuisine is our heritage. Food carries family knowledge, regional identity, and cultural memory. Through our museums and community storytelling, we are beginning to honor food as our living heritage. So this morning, Mr. Acting President, in the protocol lounge, you have seen there were biltong sandwiches served there. We honor our food because we love our food. From roosterkoek being served like Tannie Poppy in Laingsburg, we love protecting and sharing our food in the Western Cape. Mr. President, recently we hosted the Mayor of Atlanta in Mitchell's Plain. We served the Mayor of Atlanta with Kusistas in Mitchell's Plain, and he enjoyed it. But there was a more strategic message about that. For next year, when Bafana Bafana plays in the World Cup, we want the world to taste Kusistas at the FIFA World Cup. And hopefully that will inspire Bafana Bafana to bring the cup home. Mr. President, we will also be honoring Mill Street Heritage Hawk in Caledon, which has been declared a heritage site. In Ceres, we have the aviation-themed amazing race. So heritage in the Western Cape go from the ground up to the sky. Creative industries here in Oudtshoorn, like the Kaka and Ka and many other festivals around the country, are living festivals of our history. They breathe and fuel our identity. They create jobs, build social cohesion, and showcase our country to the world. Mr. President, today you'll taste some lovely talents like DJ Dilly Don King, the Greg Taylor Band, Siakona, Dream Chasers, Aki's Raad, and many other wonderful talents on this stage. These are our heritage that we want to share with the world. Maar ons moet eerlik wees. Besnoeiings aan feeste en kulturele programme het 'n groot impak. Die feeste is nie net luukse nie, hulle is lewe belangrik vir kunstenaar, toerisme en die behoud van ons kulturele erfenisse. Ons belê nie net in kultuur nie, ons belê in mense. So ons moet baie meer in die feeste belê. Mr. President and Mr. Gayton McKenzie, a few years ago, the latest economic studies show that we returned 160 billion rand through GDP from community festivals. Without cultural festivals, we lose a vital part of who we are. We lose our identity, our culture, and our heritage. So we must continue to invest in festivals. This morning in Düsseldorf, we rightfully launched a 1 million trees project. These projects are there to fuel our culture, they help us to reach and make sure that our young children have a future. We are showing by hosting this year, Minister McKenzie, we are showing that heritage serves as a bridge, not as the border. It must unite us and not divide us. So the continued investment in our culture and our heritage will bring our people together. Thank you for bringing this festival to Oudtshoorn. Thank you for being here, Acting President. Let's continue to invest in festivals like the Kaka and Ka and many others. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Time is of the essence. When you go over your time, I will stand up and stand next to you. Not to come and admire you, but to tell you your time is up. Thank you very much, MEC, Ricardo McKenzie. Can we call Oriel College? Are they ready? Let us first give them a great hand of applause. Oriel College. They're going to do the preamble. Over to you. Thank you.
Greetings to everyone gathered here today. My name is Mashatile and we are from Mashatile Secondary School. Alongside me today, I have Van Veda High School and Oriel High School. We are here today to recite the preamble of the Constitution.
The people can't hear. The people can't hear. Can they start all over and put the mics closer? Check. You guys put the mics. Also give them one mic. The country must hear.
Greetings to everyone gathered here today, and we are honored to have the acting principal and the people of ministry here today. My name is Mashatile from Mashatile Secondary School, and alongside us we have Van Veda High School and Oriel High School. We are here today to recite the preamble of the Constitution of South Africa.
We, the people of South Africa, recognize the injustice of our past, honor those who have suffered for justice and freedom in our land, respect those who have worked to build and develop our country.
Sikholelwa kwelokuba uMzansi Afrika ngowabo bonke abahlala kuwo, bemanyene nangona bengafani. Ngoko ke ngabameli bethu abonyulwe ngokukhululekileyo, samkela lo mgaqo-siseko njengomthetho owongamileyo weRiphabhliki.
ukuze kuncibeke imisansa yexesha elidlulileyo kwakheke noluntu lwentando lwesininzi. Ubulungisa basentlalweni namalungelo oluntu asisiseko.
Die grondslag lê vir 'n demokratiese en 'n oop samelewing waarin die regering gegrondves is op die wil van die bevolking en elke burger gelyk deur die reg beskerm word. Die lewensgehalte van elke burger te verhoor en die potensiaal van elke mens te ontsluit en 'n verenigende en 'n demokratiese Afrika te bou wat die sy regmatige plek as 'n soewereine staat in die gemeenskap van nasies kan inneem.
May God protect our people. Nkosi sikelele Afrika. Morena buluka sishaba sa Yesu. Nkosi in South Africa. God bless South Africa. Muzimu fatucheta Africa. Hosi katekisa Africa.
Another round of applause. A very warm one. Thank you very much. We must always remember that celebrating Heritage Day is not only about remembering where we come from, but it is also about shaping our future and also giving us direction as the country. So young people, we are happy that you are taking interest in understanding the Constitution. So let's give them another round of applause. Let's also appreciate and welcome our sign language interpreters, Mr. Kevin Peterson and Berly Bota. And also to mention that as the department yesterday, we had an honor to celebrate with the deaf community the International Day of Sign Language. Leboneki batho, are ba shapele matsoho. I will now call the Deputy Chairperson of the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, Nkosilanga Mavuso, to give us the message of support. Ntate Mavuso. Oh.
Program Director, Your Excellency, Acting President Paul Mashatile, Honorable Ministers, Deputy Ministers, members of all spheres of government, traditional and Khoisan leaders present, distinguished guests, and the nation at large. Goeiemorgen. This year we gather under the theme, Reimagine Our Heritage, Institutions for a New Era. It is a reminder that our heritage is not something frozen in time. It has to evolve for it to stay relevant. 31 years into our democracy, we must be honest with ourselves. Our journey of freedom is not yet complete. We cannot truly celebrate heritage when the very custodians of our traditions, traditional leaders, and the communities they lead remain landless, stripped of their dignity, and denied the tools to fully protect and nurture the heritage of their people. Heritage without land is heritage without dignity. Amakhosi and their communities remain confined on the 13% of the land from the TBVC state much of it is barren and unproductive. The legacy of dispossession continues to undermine indigenous leadership, robbing communities of their rightful place as custodians of agriculture, culture, and identity. How can traditional leaders fulfill their sacred duty when the land that defines heritage remains outside of their hands? Equally, the Khoi and the San remain unrecognized in practice. Even as our Constitution guarantees their rights, their spiritual and cultural connection is rooted in the eland, yet they are denied access to perform sacred rituals. This is not merely about ceremonies. It is about the right of a people to exist fully, to connect with their ancestors, and then to live heritage without barriers. To deny them this is to deny them the very promise of our democracy. Our message today is clear. Heritage cannot be symbolic. It cannot be reduced to song and dance once a year while deep injustices remain unresolved. Heritage must be living. It must empower and restore dignity. That is why the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, we call for reimagining of our heritage institutions as living guardians of land, agriculture, and indigenous culture. We must restore the land to its rightful custodians. We must revive indigenous practices, unlike what is taking place in our country of erosion of cultures and our traditions, and promotion of liberal tendencies. We must secure agriculture as a foundation of our future. Only then Heritage Day move beyond symbolism and become a true celebration of freedom, identity, and dignity. The land is our heritage. Agriculture is our future. Traditional leadership is our foundation. May this heritage mark not just a remembrance of our past, but a bold step towards dignity, recognition, and restoration for all our people. I thank you. Wyatt.
Tamako, siwazwile amazwi akho baba. Siwazwile Nkosi, siyabonga. Teli, ukhona unongqongqoshe wa agriculture, ubaba John Steenhuisen, ukuzwile kahle. Nezindaba zomhlaba. We are moving now. The cultural item, I don't see you. We are now going to invite the praise poet, Siyasanga Building. They are going to give us a cultural item. Oh. Modeni, awuthoreni ninjani? Uyabulisa kaloku madumo uthombeni uthukela ndithi ndikumbafana mna ndiwela ulwandle andikunqandwa nazinkonjane. Yes, you look beautiful, by the way. Nifana nam. I'm here to serenade you with some poetry. The poem is called Bongo Lethu. And then I would love for you to help me recite this poem. Every time I say kaboom, brothers and sisters, kaboom, you reply kaboom, right? Kaboom, brothers and sisters, kaboom. Kaboom, brothers and sisters, kaboom. Kaboom, brothers and sisters, kaboom. Kaboom. Bongo lethu. Uvuka nini na emaqandeni sikubone ubuhle bakho bemveli. Kuthiwa bongo lethu busisa isidudla. Intatyambo ehloniphekileyo. A hero in a child's eye. But bongo lethu, they talk about you now as if you have died a long time ago. Everyone knows for sure the story of your birth, but we are seeing the brutal death of your existence. Kaboom, brothers and sisters, kaboom. Kaboom, brothers and sisters, kaboom. Kaboom, brothers and sisters, kaboom. Bongolethu, come and claim your crown. Whisper to those who wish to see you shine, even in your darkest hour. Bongolethu, sikulindile thina, si bongolethu, our pride. Kaboom, brothers and sisters, kaboom. Kaboom, brothers and sisters, kaboom. Ucho umaduma, uthukele umpafana uthombeni, uthi uyanibulisa nge-Heritage Day. Kaboom, brothers and sisters, kaboom. Kaboom, kaboom, brothers and sisters, kaboom. 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 Enkosini. Kaboom, I imagine our heritage institutions for a new era. I will now invite Minister Mackenzie on the podium to take over the program. Minister Mackenzie.
Acting President, I got a message now from my auntie. She said, we've seen everyone. You made everybody stand up, but you didn't make the wife of the acting president stand up. And it is true. I want you all to see how beautiful our deputy president's wife is and how beautiful she's dressed. Can you please rise and can we give her a hand of applause? Please rise, Mrs. Mashatile. Kaboom! Then I want to make two announcements. One is in absentia. Do you know that we are part of the government of national unity, all of us? Die regering van nasionale eenheid, ons werk baie lekker saam. We are working very nicely. Don't listen to the newspapers. We are working very nicely. I will tell you one story, Acting President, behind the scenes. Ek wil een story met julle deel. The Acting President invited us to Japan. We got to Japan. Minister Gwere Mantase was supposed to be there. He couldn't make it. So the acting president, I said, no, I know about mining. I will do the presentation. The next morning, the evening, I became very sick, Minister, very sick. I had flu. My nose was running. I went to the chemist. That man, the pharmacist, DP, he doesn't know English. I went, I said, nothing. I showed him my chest, nothing. I thought if I don't live here, this man might give me birth control tablets or something. So, Acting President, when I walked in the hotel, I met Minister John Steenruysen. He says to me, Minister, you look very sick. I said, yes. He says, stand right here, I'm coming. He came back with lots of tablets and medicine. He said, Minister, drink this tonight. I took it. I looked at him. I said, hey, Spiel, you're not going to kill me so easily. So I took the tablets back. I took the tablets, Acting President. I put it in my room knowing I'm not going to use it. But then I got more sick. I took out my phone. Chairperson of the portfolio committee, I took out my phone. I took a picture of the tablets. I sent it to my Dexel, my person. I said, baby, if I die tonight, you must know John Steele gave me these tablets at 8:30 tonight. The hotel cameras will show. The next day, so I drank. When I looked at my phone, when I woke up, I got a message from my partner. She said, baby, don't drink those tablets. Ek sê is te laat. Ek is gesond soos 'n perd. And this is who we are as the GNU. We are together. We are building this country. They can say what they like. They hate the GNU president. But they want to come in. Because umnandi mona, umunati mo GNU. GNU is the future. Then lastly, before I call up the next speaker to introduce the acting president, history has been made. We are hosting the presidency of the G20. It has never happened. It is the first time where we have an African man to be the chairperson and the president of the G20. Can we all give and clap hands to President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa for being the first president, for making history? It has never been done. Thank you very much. And with those words, let me introduce the farmer, the minister, the chemist, John Steele, to come introduce our DP. Over to you. Waar is uw veldschoennummer?
Baie dankie. Halale Oudtshoorn, halala. Happy Heritage Day, Oudtshoorn. Happy, happy. It is a distinct honor and privilege today to be here with all of you, but an even greater honor and privilege to be able to give the welcome to our main speaker today. This is our own Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa. And I want to say, DP, what Minister McKenzie said about your wife, I want to second. She looks absolutely lovely today. And I'm sure everybody here agrees. We are so much stronger because we have all different types of heritages that interweave together to make us who we are as a nation. And I think it is very fitting that today, to come and speak to us is not only our Deputy President, but the Acting President of the Republic of South Africa, the Honourable His Excellency Paul Mashatile. Lead us, Deputy President, lead us.
Modi mohaulite hai matata hayo mata aremenga mautu. Let's all stand and welcome the Deputy President. Modi mohaulite hayo mata tata hayo mata. Modimo, holiday, hayo, mata, matata, hayo, matata, hayo, Modi. Thank you very much.
izigo nembeko zathobela zebuye inkomo amagwalangini ezizazimkelwa nongqawuse ndivumelani kaloku mna ndityatyadule lirhibele ndigwebe ngamakhala nezaci ebe kaloku nqinqele egqweqwena ndidlali intsinda badala ngegama loo nto mna ndikoki andirhoki ndingqongqangqo emkholweni bhotani mzontsundu andiniva ndithi bhotani kaloku ze sikahintsa sikarharhabe sikaphalo sikahintsa sikamalangabe sikatogwi ebe kaloku seyisesisizwe sikakho kaloku deputy president xa bethi bakhahla besithi azanelizwe
For the Western Cape Province, honorable ministers, deputy ministers here present, they all have been introduced. I just want to say, ministers and deputy ministers, we thank you most sincerely for attending. I know that during events like this, we don't get a lot of today you are here in big numbers, and I'm quite happy. I urge you to continue to do that. Let's support one another. A big round of applause to our ministers and deputy ministers. Let me also acknowledge members of parliament who are here with us, our host mayor, Councillor Strubel, all other mayors who are here, MMCs and councillors. Greetings to the Deputy Chairperson of the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, Nkosi Langamavuso, religious and traditional leaders who are present here with us. Greetings to the patron of Global Alliance in South Africa, Mrs. Humile Mashatile, our nation's cultural and practitioners and creatives, Director General of Sports, Arts and Culture, Dr. Cynthia Kumalo, Directors Generals from our government who are present here, senior managers, and all officials, distinguished guests, members of the media, fellow South Africans. Molweni, Dumela, Abshe, Sanbonani, Demasiare, Lochani, Chobela, Huyemedach. Program directors, it is a privilege to stand before this gathering today on behalf of His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, who entrusted me with the honor of leading this celebration of Heritage Day here at Oudtshoorn. a town known for its sandstone architecture, national heritage sites, and a rich cultural landscape influenced by the Khoisan people, Scottish stone masons, and Jewish settlers. Minister Mackenzie, given the rich history of this town, it is befitting that we are hosting the Heritage Day celebration here today. What has especially caught my interest for this year's celebration is the theme, Reimagine Our Heritage Institutions for a New Era. Since it encourages us to honor our history whilst looking to the future. This theme further emphasizes the importance of leveraging heritage as a foundation for building a dynamic, socially responsive, technologically innovative, and economically inclusive future. It is a call for fresh perspectives on how we can preserve and showcase our history in ever-evolving landscape of our society. This theme is even more important considering that South Africa has been hosting various G20 initiatives since the beginning of the year and will officially host the G20 summit in November of this year. We're expecting most of heads of states to attend this summit in November. The theme of South Africa's presidency of the G20 is solidarity, equality, and sustainability. And then, amongst other things, anchors as a promoter of inclusive economic growth whilst fostering innovation, creativity, equity, social cohesion, and ensuring that a diversity of cultural expressions flourishes in a globalized world. I should state, Honorable Program Director, that it does not matter what tribe or cultural background you are. We all have the responsibility to preserve and showcase our heritage locally and also to a global audience. This is important because our heritage institutions nurture cultural identity, encourages unity, and offer economic opportunities in sectors such as tourism and the arts. I know that Nkosi Mavuso spoke very passionately about agriculture. Minister Steyners, and you heard him. This serves as a bridge between the past and the present, allowing us to connect with our roots and understand where we come from. It is in the understanding of our roots that we can lay a solid foundation for our future as a society. Fellow compatriots, you will agree with me that as we enter a new era, it is crucial to reevaluate and reinvent heritage institutions to ensure their relevance and accessibility. We must emphasize the centrality of heritage in our national project to build a socially cohesive society based on democratic values such as human dignity, equality, freedom, human rights, and civil liberties as enshrined in our Constitution. We are obliged to do so because our heritage embodies the very essence of our nationhood and the resilience of our people united in their diversity. It is this unity in diversity that our cultural heritage finds expressions through galleries, theaters, archives, concerts, works of art, sports codes, storytelling, indigenous games, and museums, which form part of our shared future. Tata Rolihlahla Mandela has this to say 20 years ago. Dalbunga. When our museums and monuments preserve the whole of our diverse heritage, when they are inviting to the public and interact with the changes all around them, then they will strengthen our attachment to human rights, mutual respect, and democracy, and help prevent this ever again being violated. Close quote. With these words, Tata Madiba accurately described the important role that museums and other historical institutions play in bringing about social change, encouraging active citizenship, and protecting the democratic principles that are enshrined in our Constitution. His observations further emphasizes that museums and cultural institutions must address societal challenges and cater to the daily needs of people across racial and cultural divides. Museums, monuments, and other heritage sites must become spaces of cultural diplomacy, inclusivity, intergenerational conversation, laboratories of creativity, and incubators of opportunities for our people, particularly the youth. We must, program directors, position our heritage institutions to contribute to the government's efforts to deal with pressing challenges of unemployment, social fragmentation, crime, and corruption. This can be achieved by empowering communities to challenge dominant narratives, providing secure spaces for dialogue and critical thinking. Sorry for that. We must position our heritage institutions to contribute to the government's efforts to deal with pressing challenges of unemployment, social fragmentation, crime, and corruption. This can be achieved by empowering communities to challenge dominant narratives, providing secure spaces for dialogue and critical thinking, and preserving and reinterpreting marginalized histories. The heritage institutions may create a sense of collective memory, inspire resilience, and find new ways to solve current social challenges by adopting participatory approaches and focusing on people's resilience and lived experiences. Program directors, more importantly, we must work together as families, as communities, non-governmental organizations, business and government to fight the scourge of drugs and substance abuse, especially amongst young people. The rate of drug abuse amongst our children is a concern to our government, especially as it leads to stigmatization of young people into categories. As we all hear, some of them are called Amapara and other names. I call everyone to stand up and fight this demon that has engulfed our nation. It is our joint responsibility to combat alcohol and substance abuse and work together to eradicate similar practices within communities. Phansi ngama-drugs, phansi. Phansi ngama-drugs, phansi. Fellow compatriots, we must also work together to fight crime, racism, tribalism, gender-based violence and femicide, including other anomalies that serve as a hindrance to our country's progress. Furthermore, we must embrace a radical perspective shift within our museums, one that reimagines these institutions so they may effectively respond to the sensibilities, aspirations, and challenges of the 21st century and beyond. This is a call to decolonize our museums, to Africanize them through a people-centered process of knowledge production and co-curation for a new era, a post-colonial era. It is a moment for a strategic shift as heritage institutions worldwide are transforming into engines of development, aligning with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. This shift is also reflected in the National Development Plan Vision 2030, the revised White Paper on Arts, Culture and Heritage, the National Policy on Living Heritage, and also the Constitution. These frameworks acknowledge that heritage institutions must be people-centered, economically responsive, and technologically advanced while healing the divisions of the past. This task demands unity of purpose and collective action from all of us as a nation to construct a country that upholds human dignity and civil liberties, free from racism, sexism, and various forms of discrimination. We must take deliberate steps to fast-track transformational imperatives and address the urgent need to resolve and restore the dignity of the African people whose cultural heritage practices were disrupted and destroyed by colonialism and apartheid. Some of you present here can confirm that apartheid undermined African heritage by destroying community structures through forced removals, fragmenting families and ancestral lands, and establishing an inferior education system focused on Bantu education. It suppressed African cultures, enforced segregation, and promoted the derogatory use of the term Bantu to dehumanize Black Africans and erode their identity. As government, we are actively working to restore the dignity of African heritage through initiatives like the National Policy for the Repatriation and Restitution of the Human Remains and Heritage Objects, and the current reburial of Khoi and San ancestral remains, aiming to correct injustices from the colonial and apartheid eras. Program directors, we are called upon to restore the erased histories of our heroes and heroines who died defending this beautiful land. It was on the dunes of the Cape that our African ancestors, the Khoi and the San, defended these lands against the Portuguese Viceroy Francisco de Almeida and his crew in 1520 at Table Bay. It was again in the same Cape that the Khoi and the San stood defiantly against Jan van Riebeeck in what became known as the Khoi-Dutch confrontation of 1659. We are reminded of the Eastern Cape Frontier Wars, which raged over a period of 100 years. History reminds us of the Battle of Ngome River in KwaZulu-Natal, the Bambata Rebellion of 1906, and many other courageous acts of standing against Western colonizing forces that took place across the length and breadth of our country in defense of our land and our heritage. We should also remember and teach the young ones about the wars waged by Sekhukhune of Bapedi tribe in the north, now Limpopo, or Limpopo province rather. These were a series of conflicts between the Bapedi people led by King Sekhukhune against the Boer-controlled Transvaal Republic, culminating in a final war against the British between 1878 and 1879. Sekhukhune was a determined leader who sought to maintain the independence of the Bapedi people against encroaching colonial powers. Program directors, these were not merely battles. They were forms of resistance that would later shape and determine the fate of the African child. Fellow compatriots, today we have an opportunity to pay tribute to the central role played by our traditional and Khoisan leaders, our kings and queens in the defense of our beautiful land and the safeguarding of our heritage. Throughout history, they have stood as custodians of culture, identity, and memory, ensuring that the wisdom of our ancestors is preserved and passed on to future generations. Their leadership has not only safeguarded our territories, but also fostered the values of unity, dignity, and resilience amongst our people. Today, as we chart the path towards a more cohesive and inclusive society, we draw inspiration from their enduring legacy and acknowledge their invaluable contribution to the preservation of our heritage as a whole, as we continue to build a non-racial, non-sexist, united and democratic South Africa. Program Director, some of our traditional and Khoisan leaders who fought fearlessly in these wars were beheaded. Their skeletal remains collected as trophies and shipped out of the country to museums across Euro-Western countries. To this day, some of these sacred human remains of our worthy ancestors remain locked away as prisoners of so-called science in museum cupboards across the world, still awaiting their rightful repatriation. We are happy, Minister Mackenzie, that you have been speeding up this process. In this regard, I am reminded of the remains of Sarah Bartman that were returned from France in 2002. Her remains were repatriated to symbolize an end to colonial exploitation and the restoration of the dignity of black African women. Through our repatriation and restitution program, we've begun identifying institutions across the world where some of these sacred human remains are located, awaiting their return. Today, we also pay tribute to our living human treasures who are vital to the transmission of heritage, serving as custodians of knowledge, skills, and cultural practices. They guide our communities, enrich cultural experiences, and educate society on the enduring value of arts and culture. In particular, today, we honor Dr. Oma Katrina Isau, the last remaining fluent speaker of the critical endangered Ngqu language, and one of South Africa's revered living human treasures. We are happy that she is here with us today. Thank you very much for being with us today. Dr. Esau stands as a towering figure, embodying resilience, wisdom, and the unbroken thread of indigenous knowledge. Through the wealth of her experience and teachings, we as a nation continue to draw inspiration and strength. Her life's work reminds us of the urgent responsibility to safeguard our intangible cultural heritage for future generations. As the last fluent speaker of the Ngqu language in our country, and indeed the world, she carries with her the living memory of one of humanity's oldest languages, a Click language once spoken by the San of the Kalahari. With every lesson she imparts to present and future generations, she does far more than transmit words. She safeguards a profound archive of human experience and linguistic heritage. Her voice reminds us that when a language dies, a universe of meaning, memory, and identity is lost forever. It is for this reason that the restoration and preservation of our indigenous languages must remain central to our pursuit of restoring the dignity of those voices that were silenced and those languages that were suppressed. We are happy, Dr. Esau, that you have started classes to educate the young ones. Minister Mackenzie is going to support you in that regard so that we don't lose this rich history. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today we also had the opportunity to participate in the 1 Million Trees campaign of the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment by planting trees at Deyserdorp Secondary School. This campaign is part of the department's National Greening Project aimed at planting trees across the country as part of our collective responsibility to safeguard the environment. Today, Program Director, we were planting trees as part of planting 1.4 million trees across the country. The Planting of Trees project serves not only as an environmental intervention, but also as a cultural imperative, aligning living heritage practices with the principles of sustainability. It affirms our duty to ensure that the resources of our environment are preserved and protected for future generations. As government, we have also taken a step further by launching the Clean Cities, Towns and Villages campaign. The campaign aims to create cleaner, sustainable environments in all our communities, fostering job creation in municipalities and cities. It supports developmental goals by improving public health, safety, infrastructure, and promoting green energy investment to combat environmental degradation. The Cities, Towns and Villages campaign further protects heritage by creating environments that support the preservation and adaptive reuse of historic buildings and landscapes, and establishing a sense of collective place, fostering economic growth and social cohesion within our towns and cities. Fellow compatriots, the month of September also marks the second reunion of Robben Island ex-political prisoners, during which a wall of remembrance featuring the names of all Robben Island ex-political prisoners and 6 commemorative statues will be officially launched. Indeed, the story of our collective heritage is a triumph of human spirit over adversity. It is a story of the continuum of the past, present, and the future. It is a story of communities that, despite centuries of dispossession, division, and hardship, continue to rise to create and to preserve the wisdom of their ancestors for current and future generations. Most importantly, it is a story of resilience, of people who refuse to be silenced, who held on their language, their traditions, and sacred knowledge as acts of defiance and human dignity. This triumph is seen through the efforts of ordinary people from across the spectrum who safeguards our intangible cultural heritage against the tide of erasure. It is seen in our cultural practices, which affirm identity and belonging in the face of global homogenization. It is seen in our collective commitment to reimagine heritage as a force of unity, healing, and cultural diplomacy. As part of our efforts to come together as a nation with a shared goal of mending the scars of the past and addressing the deeply ingrained social and economic difficulties that the country faces, the President has initiated a national dialogue that is open to all people. The national dialogue is a citizen-led process and is an opportunity for all South Africans to confront uncomfortable truths about our democracy and reimagine a shared future for South Africa when no one is left behind. The dialogue is a crucial platform for all voices, regardless of age, location, race, class, or culture, to shape the future of our democracy through meaningful, inclusive dialogue. Since the early 90s, South Africa has relied on such dialogues for conflict resolution and shaping our future. You will recall the Convention for a Democratic South Africa and also the Truth and Reconciliation Commission as examples. We urge everyone to engage in this process because as South Africans with diverse lived experiences, we each have a vital role in building the nation we hope for. As we celebrate our heritage, may this moment serve as a time of activation. Let it be an opportunity to reimagine our heritage institutions, not as remnants of a past era, but as beacons of possibility in a changing and globalizing world. Together, let us turn memory into momentum and heritage into hope for a new era of bold imaginings. Our collective responsibility is to draw pride and joy from our diverse cultures and heritage. Let us recognize and embrace each other while celebrating our shared destiny and the rich tapestry of our country's history, culture, and heritage. The duty lies with parents, community leaders, activists, teachers, and all change agents to proactively educate and inform the youth about our past and its significance in shaping the future. Promoting family values strengthen individuals and communities by providing ethical guidance, fostering social skills like empathy and communication, and creating a sense of belonging. When communities promote family values, they foster mutual respect, collaboration, and the building blocks for a healthy human development, resulting in a more cohesive and supportive settings for everyone. We must, program directors, also recognize and appreciate the contribution of partners in the social cohesion and nation-building journey, such as the Moral Regeneration Movement, the MRM, who promotes positive values through the Charter of Positive Values. I had the opportunity to meet with the board of MRM led by Father Smangaliso Mkaju, who also reminded me of the importance of the existence of such organization in molding the moral fiber of our society today. The MRM Charter, for example, provides a framework designed to tackle social issues and facilitate moral renewal by advocating for principles such as human dignity, equality, non-racialism, non-sexism, honesty, and family values, aiming to establish a fair and inclusive society which remain crucial to the holistic development of our nation. In conclusion, program directors, this is but one example of the many organizations that are determined to make a difference and bring change that we as government and other sectors need to support. I therefore call upon all South Africans to reimagine our history and heritage, particularly our heritage institutions, for the new era, so that they may continue to add value to human development and serve generations to come. I wish all South Africans across the length and breadth of our nation, across the continent, and throughout the diaspora, a wonderful, wonderful Heritage Day. Baya danki, enkosi, siyabonga, inkomo.
Allah, acting president, Allah. I want to thank the acting president
Acting President, thank you very much for that powerful speech. I want to say something very important what the Acting President mentioned. There are people in this area, Acting President, you are right. They appreciate the dialogue. They don't have land. They have problems that only the dialogue can save. So they say the people don't want the dialogue. Our people in these communities, we want the dialogue because we want our voices to be heard. We want the dialogue. We want the dialogue. And the lie they are saying is 700 million. It is not true. President Ramaphosa told us, I'm sitting on that committee, we will never pay 700 million. We came back with 400 million. He said we will never pay 400 million. We have brought the price down significantly. Thank you, DP. I have changed the program a bit. Instead of bringing in the real dancers, bringing in Ready T, bringing youngster CPT, I first want us to get the talking finished. Then, Nandi, dan begin die party. Dan begin ons te celebrate. Die ding moet kom ruk hierso. Die tent moet opgaan naar die ligger. So, voor ons dit doen, I want to call up a man I greatly respect, the Mayor Andrew Alderman, Andrew Strubel, to come and do the thanks. And then the DP will go and greet Auntie Katrina, Koningin Katrina. En na dit, dan roep ons die vastrappers. Staan so lang vas, my kinders. Ons gaat vir julle nou roep. Laat ons eers die prater het klaar kry. Where's Alderman Strubel? Oh, hey. Over to you, Alderman.
Good afternoon, South Africa. I hope you can see what I see. It's a beautiful sight to see. This is our heritage, and it's proud to be here today and welcoming the acting president to the Garden Route. Yes, Cape Town can have more flowers on Table Mountain than the UK combined. We have the longest wine route in the world right here, in the Garden Route. Yes, we've got the heritage site in Mossel Bay. We've got the Blombos Caves in Stilbaai. We've placed Mr. Acting President to host today's national celebrations because this is home. On behalf of the Ghana Route, it's my honor and a privilege to extend a heartfelt word of thanks at the conclusion of this memorable National Heritage Day celebrations. As we acknowledge and I appreciate the support of our traditional and Khoisan leaders for keeping our indigenous knowledge, traditions and values at the center of our nation's story. I always say, Acting President, the water must be clean, the streetlights must work, the refuge must be removed. But to have a happy life in South Africa, we must be happy, we must be healthy, and we need the traditional leaders, we need churches, and we need the youth and arts and culture to combine to complete the circle of heritage in South Africa. We are a proud region and we are a happy nation here in the Ghana Route. We are the people of the Ghana Route as combined. Lastly, to the people of Oudtshoorn and the wider Ghana Route community, thank you for your hospitality, Mayor Owls, your unwavering pride in our shared heritage of South Africa. This day belongs to all of us. As we leave here today, let us carry with us the spirit of Ubuntu. the understanding that I am because we are. Let us continue to plant the seeds of unity, respect, dignity, just as we witnessed this morning with the 1 Million Trees campaign, a legacy that will grow long after today's celebration. May this National Heritage Day remind us that our diversity is not a weakness, but indeed the greatest strength of our beautiful nation, South Africa. I thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. South Africa, without wasting time, I want to introduce you to fast trap dance. Fast trap. I'm an expert in fast trap. I would have been there if I wasn't given this job today. TG, thank you. Fast trap. Wys hulle ons kinders. Hey! Hey!